this is as real as it gets.
Hey, this is Marcia Prince, IFBB Bikini Pro and Guest Berry Nutrition spokesmodel, and you are listening to the UCW radio show, In Your Face.
The number you have reached, 911, has been changed to a non-published number.
You're listening to UCW Radio.
In your face.
Give it to me, baby.
All right, welcome to the UCW radio show, and thank you for tuning in. We have another great guest lined up for the show tonight, and she's a filmmaker. She's a recording artist, and she's one person that has overcome a lot of adversity in her life to get where she's at this point, and she's actually going further than that. Her career is just starting to turn a corner, and I believe that you're going to find out more about her as 2013 rolls in, from her film and her music, her films and her music, and other projects she's working on. So please join me in welcoming to the show, Seraphim Ward. All right, Seraphim, welcome to the UCW radio show. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
Doing pretty good. I'm happy to have you on the show. I was looking over your bio, and it's pretty interesting. You know, well, on my show, I have a lot of inspirational people that have accomplished a lot of things, people that have done extraordinary things, and looking over what you've done, you know, it's interesting. I'm not even so much interested in what you accomplished. I'm interested in, you face adversity in your life.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, and you kind of, didn't let that become an obstacle in your world. You use that as a catapult to doing what you do now.
Yeah, I did. It's like where to even begin, and that area. Because I've lived like so many like lives. That's how I look at it. Because I have came over like so many obstacles, to get to where I'm at now, and it's like, I've been to places that you wouldn't even like believe that person would even go. And the thing is like, I survived it, and I have friends that didn't, so I came from a place, as you know, I ran away at 15.
Right.
I came here to LA, and actually I had a girlfriend. She was 11.
Oh, wow.
No, but she ran away first with her boyfriend. And that's kind of like how the whole thing with, I kind of like ended up here. Mm-hmm. It's because I was wanting to come to LA, but she was already here with her boyfriend that she had ran away with, right. From India already. Yeah. So.
And can I ask you a question? Because you have a lot of, and again, we're gonna periodically stop on certain topics because I think our listeners would be interested in it. Now, what drives a 15-year-old? And I know this may be an open-ended question, but what drives a 15-year-old, even an 11-year-old, to get up and run away to with no money, nowhere to live? And no way of surviving. What made you want to leave or have to leave?
Yeah, well, when I was 15, I didn't think of any of that. Like, that was never like a consideration of, how am I going to take care of myself? I don't have any money. That kind of like never really occurred to me. However, I did have a little money when I left, because my parents, they would give us allowance and stuff. So I'm a pretty good saver,
okay.
As I am now. So, I had a little money on me, but,
But
I don't know.
I mean, what was the situation at home that bad that you ran away, or was it something else that made you?
I have my parents are great,
Mm-hmm.
Even now, my mom, like I said, she's the one that's made me strong because, like, I'm a lot like her. And, growing up, she went through, not similar, but, she's one of 22 brothers and sisters from the South.
Oh, yeah. Wow, mama. Holy cow.
Yeah, 22 brothers and sisters. So you can imagine, what, her being one of them. And then she was helping, taking care of them as well. So when her mom died, so basically, which is my grandma, she had to grow up fast too.
Right.
So only mine was in a different way. Like, I'm more of a rebel, as you can see. And it wasn't anything really that my parents did. And so I had a stuttering disorder, and it still comes and goes at times, but it was like, man, it was like really bad. It was like, I couldn't even like say not even one word, and then it's like, it was like the kind of just like wasn't even funny, and then people used to make fun of me all the time, and they called me like retard. My sisters did too, my older sister, and my brothers and stuff, but it's, I don't know, like when I look back now, because I am older and I can like reflect on, on that time, it's like we were just kids, but in my head, like that was my whole life. It's like I'm tired of people making fun of me. It's like now my own family makes fun of me, and I go to school and they make fun of me at school, and the girls beat me up at school, and it's like an everyday occurrence thing, So I just like left. It wasn't even like a question. I didn't even have a thought in my head of, I can't survive out here, because I'm very in tune with the earth, and like, and it's like, it's just, I don't know, like the universe, if you want to call it that, whatever people call it these days. But, I'm very in tune with the spirit. And the more out I am, the more alive I feel. So when I just got the idea just to leave, I just like, I didn't even consider that I was like too young or anything like that.
You wanted to start a new life. Yeah,
I did because inside of me is not what you see on the outside of me.
Right.
And it never has been. It never has been. Like I said, literature is very dear to my heart. I've always, been drawn to literature. I've always, wrote. I've always, read. Of course, I couldn't speak, so that became like an obsession of mine. To overcome my disorder, because they told my mom that I would not be able to talk normal. They said there's probably no way that she'd be able to, to speak normal, just because it's so severe. Nothing we can do for her, And it's like, I'm not gonna go my whole life with people making fun of me. And it's like inside, it's like something different that I had to, bring on the outside so people can see, what, I'm not like this stupid, girl that's, have this disorder and people making fun of, and I do have something to offer, more than just, being flawed.
Right. No, I understand that, I mean, you leaving was more of you rebooting to try to better yourself, because that's what you were trying to do.
Yeah, I did, and it's like I said, I had, my brain is it amazes me, and I am grateful that I am still alive today, because like I said, I know a lot of people who are not, and including like my personal friends, girlfriends, like they're not here. And it's like I've seen like a lot of things, and
I mean, it's serious, when people think that going to Hollywood you're going to become a big star and this and that. You go, I mean, kids run away there. I mean, you got Skid Row over there. You have a lot of things that that happen over there. And,
oh my God!
And you're fortunate. You're fortunate.
It's a whole different world. Like it's a whole different world that you don't even know that even exists. Most don't even know that world even exists.
Yeah.
And it's like I lived that world, and it's like I survived it, and I've seen so many who did not.
Well,
like so many who did not. And it's like me being from 15 up. Because like off and on. Because like even now, I can't let myself get too, I want to say like depressed, but my mind operates like a little bit differently, and it'll say, okay, put yourself in storage and just go free. That's not a normal way of thinking,
right?
But it's like I started out as being peace on the street. You know what I mean? Like when I ran away, it gave me peace. So it's like whenever I get into like my mind is too cluttered with like what's going on. It's like, oh, hey, just put things in storage and just, go hang out.
Right.
That's not a healthy way of thinking.
No.
So that's why, I do focus really hard on my career and what I'm doing, and I focus really hard on helping other people, that are like in a situation I used to be in.
Right.
So that way it's like I don't go back there, because I'm constantly, like I'm helping other people that are, they're dealing with, mental illness, or dealing with alcoholism or drug addict, or, suicide, schizophrenia, all those things I know about,
right.
So, it's like I don't judge anybody. I love everybody. When I say love, like as in friends. I'm not going to not like you because you're different, or I'm not going to like you because you're a drug addict. It's like these things to me is normal. I've seen everything. I've been through everything. And it's like, that's why I can be so humble and still be around, the best of them, and still be around the worst of them.
Well,
and it's like,
let me ask you a question, and I'm going to interrupt you for a second because I don't want to go too far out because then I'm not going to be able to ask this question later on. You know, when you were a kid and you said you were being teased and bullied and beat up and everything, you know, I mean, right now in the world today, you know, you have a lot of bullying situations occurring, okay, pushing people to suicide. Because it happens,
yeah.
and you made mention that you're older now that you can see things differently. But the reality is bullying, and that kind of, you know, when you deal with that type of, you know, abuse, that stays with you for the rest of your life. I don't care what anyone says; it stays with you.
Yeah.
You may get
it does.
you may get over it, you know, as far as moving forward with your life, but you don't forget. You know, my question to you, if you can indulge me, you know, for our listeners that may have a kid dealing with that, you know, or maybe, you know, someone younger, a teenager is listening to the show, and they may be dealing with a bullying situation. You know, I mean, we don't want anybody running away, but what would you, with your knowledge of everything right now, what advice would you give to them?
Yeah, well, any kid that's dealing with, you know, the thoughts of suicide, or even just like, you know, people tease them or being bullied, if you're in that situation, you know, first of all, it's like, don't be the victim, you know, and usually when a person is bullying you, it has nothing to do with you. It has a reflection to do with them. Like, maybe they're going through something, you know, so, you know, like myself, when I was getting bullied a lot, even now, this is like, as in current day, I'm currently still, you know, getting bullied. You know, but I realized that has nothing to do with me, you know, and it's like, I can never stop a person from bullying me, but I can stick up for myself, you know, and let them know that I'm not going to let them do that to me, you know, and the ways of doing that is, you know, if you're at school, you know, go tell the principal, you know, report what's going on, and, you know, and make sure that you don't keep that inside, because keeping it inside, you know, that's even worse than bullying you, because it would always eat you up, because the things that you always would want to say, you know, that you would never say. And then you don't want to tell, like, your parents, at least I didn't from school at first, that I was getting bullied. And, you know, until my sister saw me getting beat up. So it's like, you know, it's just, it comes to the point to where it gets physical, but you don't want it to get physical. So you want to prevent it before it even, you know, go to that stage. So the first signs of someone bullying you, I would say, you know what, if you tell them to stop and they don't stop, you know, then I would say, you know, at that point, go tell your teacher, or, you know, if you're in a workplace, go tell your boss. You know, like, I don't believe in telling on people, but I just seen too many, you know, bad things happen. Like, you know, the school, those little kids in school just got killed like a couple of days ago. You know, some crazy guy goes in there with a gun and kills all those, like, innocent little kids. They didn't do anything to him. You know, so it's like, you don't know what a person is thinking of when they're attacking you, because it has nothing to do with you. And it's like, it's just like their rage or their anger, and you just happen to be there for them to, like to bounce it off of. So, you know, like, I ran away at 15. Mm-hmm. I do not regret what I did. You know, however, like I said, it made me into the person that I am, you know, today. And I believe that I would not be where I'm at today if I hadn't gone through all those obstacles, and I would not be grateful for what I have today, you know, including, you know, the whole film, you know, deal things that I have going on. It's like, you kidding me? If I just came out here and I had everything handed to me in my hand, I would have just ended up like everybody else, you know, like the other girls who just come here to get, you know, the nice boyfriends, they take care of you, and then, you know, whatever, then, you know, they dump you, then you become nothing. So I always wanted to kind of like work hard. So if, you know, whoever I do date is like a partner, and not like, oh, you know, they have to take care of me, you know. So I've always, because I believe in my disorder that I had, you know, I never wanted to be looked at as being like helpless. Mm-hmm. You know, like, oh, you know, she needs help. You know, I've always been like, no, I don't need help. That's always been my main problem too in life, is like, you know, I don't need anybody's help. I don't need help. You know, so my journey has been extra hard. Like, it's been that extra hard, because where it could have been easier when people offer to help me, or, you know, to like to like intervene in something. I'm like, no, I can do it myself. But knowing inside, I do need help. So that has been like a major flaw of mine. Most of my life is actually like asking for help, up until the current day as of now. Like I said, my past and on all my mistakes that I've done, they've made me stronger today.
Well, I mean, I think that, for you, just knowing a little bit about you, you face a lot of adversity, but you're not looking for pity. You're not looking for people to say, "Oh, poor you." You made your bones. Okay, and I'm saying this because I want our listeners to understand that you had life experiences, and this is what formed you into what you are right now. And your life experiences actually can gives you insight to allowing you to help someone that may be dealing with something that you dealt with when you were younger.
Yeah.
So it gives you insight which you can actually help them pay it forward a little bit.
Yeah, I find that happening quite often. I mean, it's happened, like I said, like throughout my journey, like for the past, I would say like the past 8 years, I've helped like a lot of people, that has been dealing with what I've dealt with. And it's easier for me because if I had not gone through it, then I could not identify with that person. I would not know what to say to that person, and I'd probably like everybody else, kind of like, oh my God, that person's like weird, or I don't understand that person, maybe judge and just walk away. And then that person, they don't have anybody, and I'm saying it because I didn't have anybody.
Right.
Like I said, like, I started out, as a runaway, and it was like a whole group of us, basically, that was like on the street.
Right.
And it was like kind of cool, though, and we would have like the safe house and stuff, and then we would do like expanding things, and it's like you don't really think about the tomorrow, it's like I don't think that exists like right now, like the current, and then when I didn't realize that I was attractive, for one, because I always been made fun of a lot, and then I was told, like, a couple of the girls on the street, and actually a couple of guys too. It was like, you know what, you really need to not be on the street that long. I said, why? They said, well, because you're pretty, and the pretty ones always end up leaving, getting snatched up first, because it's a whole different lifestyle, like world, like literally, like that's what my movie Unholywood that I just got a green light for to go to silver screen. It's about, it's a true story. And it is coming from, one of the places when I was on the streets, and it's like, it is a cult. I'm talking about, like, there is some hardcore shit that you can't even believe that's even going on. That's even to happen. And the fact that, I went through all that stuff and well, I thought I escaped, but, actually I was helped. It's like help from one of. So that's what kind of like makes me like, I would think an inspirational mouthpiece, because I've been in death, and I've witnessed it, and then yet it allowed me to live for some reason.
Well, I mean, you could have easily went down a different road, honestly, when you were out on the streets with your, I guess your group. The group of runaways, and that's what happens. Just so our listeners understand, when you have, young people running away, I don't care, you're in New York, L.A., wherever you are, they congregate, they get together so they can protect each other in some way. But what happens at some point or another, people fall into drugs, prostitution, male or female, things happen. So you're fortunate that you were able to get over that hurdle. So whoever helped you in getting past that.
I've always had my Bible.
Yeah. Okay, then there you go.
It's like the irony of the whole thing, because there was like revelations ever since I was like really little that I've always been drawn to.
Right.
So when I left, I had my Bruce Lee skateboard and I had my Bible.
Okay. Yeah, did you say Bruce Lee?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. I like it. I dig it. That is good. So you had that in your Bible. You know what? Honestly, when all else, leaves you, when all else fails, your belief is what will give you strength. And that's what I feel. So
yeah, it's like I'm not a religious person at all. Like I said, I wasn't raised religiously at all. Like I said, we're Creole and we have our own, beliefs. And, but it is God. It's the Ancient of Days. He is like the God,
Right.
They would call him like the God of the Jews. That's the one that, we pray to. So, like I know a lot of things from my family, but I'm also not stupid. It's like a book of magic.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it has protected me. So it's like when I left, like I said, when I was stuttering, just reading, that's all I did. That's why now I'm like, I have so much knowledge up here in my head from just like a lot of like spiritual things, including the Bible. I know it like without even reading it, like the back of my hand,
mm-hmm.
And it's like a gift because it never died, and I never swayed the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I have friends that are dead, that were naive. Like I was naive too, but like I said, I had to be protected. There's no way around it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't as smart as, we weren't as smart as like, or the other, we're all like the same. It was like that. And the next thing you know, it's like, oh my God, somebody ends up dead. Or, oh my God, somebody ends up snatched up,
mm-hmm.
Or, oh my God, like, so somebody found like all drugged up on heroin, like, OD'd over after being raped and stuff. And,
mm-hmm.
and it's like, I never wanted to, make myself vulnerable to those things or to those kind of people. So I would always be like in my own, like even on the street like that, like them have my own corner,
mm-hmm.
like my own, what do you call it, like shaded space that we would go. Go like under these fences and like do these.
You had your own turf. You had your own turf over there. That's what you got.
Yeah. So even within the group, I still have my own little like hideaway space. I would just like read my Bible,
Your safe place.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Because even like in the group, there's sometimes like a weird one who would come in and then he get beat up or she'll get beat up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But everybody else get kicked out because they're like, it just I don't know. Like I said, I'm grateful that I survived it, and but the time was like I didn't know it was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That it's like, oh, you just ran away from home and just left your whole family. It's like actually I had a peace of mind. I had. Like I said, my family's great. I've gone back, and we're very close. And my little brother just came down. He was down here this past summer.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his girlfriend from college. He's in college. And, I talked to my mom. Even today, she's like texting, like, are you coming home for Christmas? I'm like,
but
probably not this year.
But you really didn't run away because of your family.
No.
That's the thing,
my family.
Yeah, because you ran away more so for the circumstances of what you were dealing with.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. My family, like I said, did great.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was wonderful. My dad, amazing. My brothers and sisters, different story. Those are brothers and sisters. Their duty is to be mean to me.
Mm-hmm.
Even now, like go back home, or like you can't walk straight. Stay on your own side. Just they pick on me still.
Right.
But it's more like in a cute way, and not like not like you should kill yourself. Kind of ha ha. Look at you. You're never gonna amount to anything. And I was told that by people. You'll never amount to anything, You're just like you're nothing, You're just like all the rest of them, or they'll judge me just by looking at me, and then when they find out like oh, she's a filmmaker, or oh, because I went to film school,
mm-hmm.
so I did actually go to school for being a filmmaker, and I actually got a 3-year distribution deal. And I just now got another partnership like added on to that. So that's why it's going to Silver Screen now, because we got that extra arm that said, okay, look, it's like, let's just do this. There's no more fucking around.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, when I tell a person like now, like, oh yeah, I got this, they're like, oh yeah, right. I mean, it's just like, it's ridiculous, and it's like, I don't know.
Well, I think,
it's a reflection of them, of what they have not accomplished. No, because in my world, that's normal.
Well,
in my world,
it's ignorance. But it's ignorance. When you have, you can't judge, and it's an old, saying, you can't judge a book by its cover. You don't know who a person is until you get to know them. I don't care.
Exactly.
You're black, white, this, that, gay, straight, whatever it is. It shouldn't matter. Now, if a person's a bad person, I don't care. They're bad people all over the world, all different races, creeds, color, religions. You have bad people. And that is a different story. But you also have a lot of good people. So you don't know until you get to know someone.
Yeah, this is very true, because I've been deceived a few times.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing is, I don't regret being deceived though, because it makes me grow, and it makes me more aware and more alert. That's how I became wise. When I was homeless, I became very wise and clever.
Well, you were forced to be more than what you were.
Yeah, and because my life actually depended on it.
Right. I can definitely see that. You're out there, it's a life or death situation every day. I'm sure of it.
Yeah. Even like I said, like, it's like a whole different, like, because I know both sides now, because now I'm an upstanding citizen. Like, I have a house in Hollywood Hills, I have my film company I just got, we just got a deal for, my album's coming out next year. So I have all these things that I pushed hard and I accomplished, and I also help other people. I help more people than I help myself, and so I am a big giver, and I don't regret giving because it's all I know how to do. Well,
But those are the good things, paying it forward, because and we're going to go into your film, your album, everything. We're going to go into it after the break. But I just want to touch on more of your life, because I think it's very interesting how, you face adversity, you bounced over it, and you took everything you've been through, and even all the success you had. You paying it forward just shows the type of person you are. You don't have to be that. You can actually, and what word could I use? You can actually be a prick and do nothing, and never help anyone, but you choose to do so.
Yes.
Okay.
This is very true.
So that shows a lot about your character, and that's why I mention that, because I believe, and I'm a big believer. Anyone that knows me, anyone that has read my stuff, I'm a big pay it forward type of guy. I believe in that if good things happen to you, you don't pay it forward, you're not doing anyone any favors. So you have to pay it forward always.
Yeah.
If you don't,
it's like greed. I can't understand like the word greed, because it's like when you're greedy, then as much as you get, that's all you're going to have.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I give so much that it's like it's uncountable, basically. Because I'm just giving, and it's like it doesn't matter to me. Like, money doesn't even matter to me. I give away so much of it.
Money's not real. Money's not real. Fame isn't real. None of that is real. It's all. It's just there. I mean, these are the bonuses you get in life.
Exactly.
But the more you get, you give, you'll get more, and you give more, you get more, and you give more, and that's it.
I learned to appreciate life and the meaning of life.
Right.
And like when you really know what life is about, and you know that it really is a gift, and like that's not just like a cliche, and that every person that's in your life is in your life for a reason.
Right.
And it's like I'm more mindful and attentive by those that I come in contact with. Because I'm like, okay, this wasn't a mistake. And then, it's revealed on why the person's in my life. And then, of course, it's an exchange of help. It's like, okay, either I help that person or that person has some sort of knowledge or situation to help me with.
Right.
So it's always like a stepping forward situation for both parties. It's not just like a take thing. It's like, oh, okay, now we know why, we was in each other's lives. And it's even girlfriends, so.
Yeah, I mean, but you don't do things to get things in return. If they happen, they happen. They don't, they don't. You just keep moving forward.
Exactly.
So that's the way it goes.
Exactly.
So now let's just go forward a little bit before we go into the break. Now, I mean, you're on the street, you're a runaway, all this stuff's happening. You're taking to your notebooks to write your poems, lyrics, your stories. That's your escape, your book. You're writing. Now, what brings you to winding up in modeling? How did that transpire?
Okay, that happened when it was actually a manager, and I guess it was like a manager for a firm, and like they did like commercial modeling, theatrical, things like that. So it was kind of like a across the board situation, and I'm sure it wasn't just to like help me off the street, but like I said, if they see you like on the street like more than a few times, then you would get people come back a lot. You know, they're like, oh my God, you know, we didn't know that you're like, you're homeless, you're on the street. He's like, yeah. You know, they're like, oh my God, like no way, because you don't even look like it. It's like, yeah, you know. And then they tend to, you know, try to like put a good hand forward, you know, like to help in some sort of way, to maybe like, you know, so you won't be on the street, to help, you know, like they would give like people like money, like literally, when I say money, like not like a small amount, but money to go and like live in a hotel, but they'll pay for like the hotel for the whole month. Right. These are like perfect strangers to kids on the street, you know. So there is a lot of favors, you know, that people that have a good heart do to people that, you know, they see like they're just like kids. They're like, they're just kids, like, you know. And of course, we were all runaways and probably weren't even from LA, and we weren't. So that's kind of like how the manager thing came along, you know, for my modeling and doing my commercials and stuff. And so what they did was they did I guess what they call like, it's not a loan, it's an advance. It's in, and they like paid 6 months up for my apartment because I wasn't old enough to get an apartment. And so within that 6 months, you know, I had to pay back, and I did. I booked what I booked. Macy's. That's when I started doing the commercial thing, the national commercials. Right. Kraft, Macy's, Kraft, Macaron, Kraft and Cheese, Foot Locker. You know, because it's like I'm an outgoing person now. You know, at that time, you know, I was still stuttering, but you know, just kind of like more personality and commercial. You know, just more about the, you know, and I wasn't like really into the whole acting thing, and so yeah, that's kind of like how that came about. Getting into modeling.
But somebody gave you an opportunity, and you took it, of course, but you didn't take it and take advantage of it. You took it, and you were going to use that to catapult yourself over the adversity that you were facing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because, I mean, it's like, okay, how in the heck are you going to, like, first of all, work the job? My brain is not made, like, when I say a job, like 9 to 5, like a normal human job. I can't even know how to explain it to you, but for some reason, like my disorder, it does not allow me to be confined in one space for a long period of time. Right. It's like I would just like walk away or leave, but without knowing that it's wrong. You know, just kind of like, okay, you know, because I'm used to being free. You know, I had to set my own rules. Like there was never any rules set for me. So it's kind of like I actually did like raise myself up until like now. And so basically it's like, you know, I'm not stupid. I know, okay, there's no way that I'm going to be able to work. And I tried, by the way, working like a 9 to 5 job, regular job. Oh my God, disaster. There's like, okay. Oh my God. Like, so nobody can ever say, okay, you know, you should be working a regular job, whatever. It's like, yeah, that's why I went to film school. You know, that's why, you know, the people that I actually met in the industry, you know, I did work extra hard and making the right connection and, you know, and, you know, like, so for my music part, you know, I took the money that I was making for my commercials and for my modeling and I invested in myself. So everything that I have, I actually, like, I paid for. So it was not like, oh, you know, she met some guy or a band and, you know, they recorded her, you know, it happens a lot. You know, some girls hang out with guys and then, you know, oh yeah, we'll record you, whatever. And then most of the time it doesn't happen. And it's just kind of like a lead on and it ends up sour. Or sometimes, you know, the guy does. And then it's kind of like, oh, you know, she got her, you know, her stuff done by, you know, dating this guy or sleeping with this guy. And with me, it's like, I'm a tomboy. You know, I look like a girl, but I'm a really hardcore tomboy. And, you know, because I had to be, you know, to become strong. So my whole thing is after my disorder, you know, went away, I'm like, okay, I don't need you guys' help. I want to pay for this. Right. Yeah, pay for the studio time. I pay for the production, and because I want people to look at me as, you know, as being a decent human being, you know, in a young lady that earned her way and not like trying to get something. Because every single thing that I have, I've worked hard for.
But you wanted to make your bones, and you didn't want to owe anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it comes down to, and that's what you did, and that's what you're continuing to do. But what we're going to do, Seraphim, just bear with us because we have to take a quick break because we have to listen to your song. We're going to listen to your song, What's the Color of Love, so our listeners can get a flavor of your music. And when we come back, we're going to talk about your filmmaking, your songs, and everything that you're doing now. So just hang on, and we're going to be right back with Seraphim Ward on the UCW radio show. A quick Q&A with Brandon Flowers of The Killers, and The Killers are back.
We're back once again. Hopefully we're stronger. We're refreshed. We had a break. I've taken some voice lessons. So, I don't know, but we always we try to take a little bit of Las Vegas with us everywhere we go, and it's fun. Yeah, we've just started playing again, and it's been really fun.
Now, why would someone like Brandon Flowers need voice lessons?
I don't know. I just wanted to seem like the right thing to do. You know, I wanted to be better, get better, and it's just helped me with the guy knows what my ambitions are, and he knows that there's a certain style and it's something that I've already kind of got going. So we're just kind of fine-tuning a few things. You know, I'm not trying to be an opera singer or anything.
The music industry has changed. How hard is it for you to do what you do in this environment?
It's tough to be in a rock band right now. It is. And the rock stations are dying, and I really shouldn't have anything to complain about, because we got, like I said, we got our foot in the door at the last second. I feel sorry for young guys now that love rock and roll and are struggling to find a home.
So
All right, welcome back to the UCW radio show. And Seraphim, welcome back. We were listening to your song, What's the Color of Love? What is up with that?
Oh, you would ask me that.
Of course I would.
Oh, my God. Okay. Well, What's the Color of Love? That was a song I wrote right before I tried to commit suicide.
Oh, wow.
And that's why that song, first of all, I was never ever going to have any of these tracks released.
Mm-hmm.
You know, until I said, until, you know, I got the deal for my film company, and also with the music as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there was all my unreleased tracks as well. And I'm like, okay, these are just, there's like, What's Called Love is just like so painful. And it's like when I was writing it, as you can see, it's like very raw. Like that was my honest, true feelings that I was writing down. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like me exposed and, you know, like inside out. And like I said, I did try to commit suicide. That was like the song I wrote right before. And, you know, I thank God I'm alive.
Well,
you know,
thank God.
Yeah, well, I mean, the point is I actually did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back. So when I say thank God I'm alive, like I really mean that, like,
Mm-hmm.
because in that moment when you do it, it's like, it's the worst thing that any person could ever do to themselves. You know, and like I said, I'm grateful that I came back because most don't get the chance to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And to realize, oh my God, what am I doing? And you're doing this over a guy, or you're doing this because people are making fun of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're doing this because you're getting bullied. You're doing this because you don't fit in. You're doing this because you suck. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're doing this because you're not a great artist.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing this because nobody likes you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like all these things. You know, you're doing it because life maybe, you know, is getting too hard. Maybe you should go back home. You know, and then you go back home, you're a failure anyway, because, you know, they can look at you like, oh, wow, you know, look where you ended up. You know, you ran away, you know, at 15, and, you know, although I do go back, you know, sporadically, but the reality is, you know, I left for a better life.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, not only for mine, but, you know what I mean, just to find myself away from, you know, being mocked at and laughed at and, you know, told what to do. So, you know, like I said, the suicide, that was a turning point in my life, basically. Like a major illumination, like a major enlightenment and epiphany. Like, you would not believe.
A rebirth?
I mean, yes. After that, nothing else mattered. After that, after I saw that, I'm like, are you kidding me? I did this to myself. I did this to me. Man, yeah, and the whole thing is, if I had just like not came back, I've been so pissed.
Yeah, and then yeah, you would be pissed. Nobody'd know about it till later, I guess. You know, but I mean, it's situations like that you know, anyone that's listening to the show, you know, I want them to hear what you're saying, because in reality, you know, things could have been different for you. You're here for a reason. Yeah. All right, you're here for a reason, and now that you passed that point, that you actually believe that, hey, this is the stuff I have to do. I have to make these films. I have to make the music. I have to be creative. I have to go and build this empire that you're trying to build, and you're getting there, and make my, you know, what goes on in your head, make that real.
Right, exactly. Well, I mean, it is real in my head.
It's real, yeah, but make it real for everyone else.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, like when I say real in my head, it's like we believe in vision.
Mm-hmm.
Like where I'm from, we believe in vision.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so the vision is already birthed, is already there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that you don't have to make happen, because you cannot stop a vision. You can stop a dream, because it's just a dream. But a vision is something that is,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So you follow that path of the vision. And so that's the path that I've been on. And like I said, after my suicide, I got a huge illumination, like you would not believe, you know. And so that's why I know life does really do have a purpose and a meaning, and not in a religious way either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it goes like so beyond that. And that's why, like I said, I don't mind helping. And my my sole goal in life is to help, because I don't know what else to do but that.
Right.
It's like I give more than I have to give. I want to open up orphanage, and also like safe house for runaways, because I was one.
All right.
And because I do know what goes on the street, like what really goes on the street, and I'm not talking about the Hollywood surface of like, there's just like bums and hookers, whatever. It's like in my world, that didn't even exist.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were just hardcore surviving, as in we stay away from that shit, because they end up in body bags. Like literally, they end up in body bags. We see this, so we're smart enough to know, okay, we stay away from those people and we don't do what they do. If you do what they do, you go where they go, and they go in body bags.
And the way that you're gonna be helping and doing what you're doing is through your projects.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. It's through my projects, and like I said, I have, and like Unholy, of course, is a true story. Mm-hmm. And most of the things that I write that are occult, because like I said, I do know a lot about that, probably more than I should know, and from both sides though, from both sides. And so it kind of makes it like, I guess, like magical, because it's not just like a one-sided thing, and then it's infinite. Right. It's not like, oh, I just have like, something that somebody told me. It's like, no, this is like real shit, as in like supernatural. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about like the secret society. That's a different. That's like more of a cult. I'm talking about like, as in like, the magic, the Creole, just the real stuff, the things that I got generational that I can't even really help anybody else to do it, because like some that even I didn't even learn. So and like I was told, my mother, she has, protected me. She has prayed over me. I know that for a fact. She has, like I said, intervened a lot in my life because I wasn't there. Mm-hmm. And every time like something bad like is about to happen, I'll hear from her.
I mean, that you guys are in sync, and you have your guardian angel, and that's important stuff. Yeah,
but like every single time, and when I hear her voice, I'm like, oh great, what's about to happen? But it's always like that warning of, just kind of just be alert.
Mm-hmm. Well, now, I mean, I understand where you're coming from with that. You're fortunate because you have that little warning, that little alarm. Hey, wait a second, something's gonna happen here. Let me go check.
I'm telling you what.
let me make a left instead of a right. I get it. But
seriously, it's like my life has been so. That's why it's called Welcome to My World of Supernatural. Mm-hmm. Like that's kind of like that's my life, because it really is supernatural. My whole journey has been supernatural. Like I don't know how to even explain it with like the things I've encountered, the people that I've encountered, the roads I've taken, the life that I actually lived, the situations I've been through and gotten out of. I mean, I've seen like, oh my God. I mean, that's why I had to be a filmmaker. There's no way, because I would just write, and then people that would read what I would write, they're like, this is like so vivid. They're like, you really should be like, a filmmaker, because you have so much, to share and tell, that and it's actually like all true stories. Like actually, it's all real, And they're like, maybe you should do something with that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. And this is like even when I was like younger too.
But now you're doing it.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm doing it because it's like, I'm a visionary. That's what I do. I write. I don't know anything else to do but to do that. And so the perfect outlet for that and to help people and like to give the message across would be like an artist or being a filmmaker. Mm-hmm. I prefer being a filmmaker because I like the creative end of it. Like I'm behind the scenes.
So, but you're more of a filmmaker than a recording artist.
Well, no. Well, I'm both. Like I said, like I'm both. But as in, like my mind is very vivid, and what I see, I can actually now I can let the world see what's in my head. Like they can see what I see. They can see the world that I see.
And
so in other words, like I can cast exactly what I'm seeing. I can write exactly, the scenes exactly the way that they happen. And it's like, it doesn't matter like how supernatural or unsupernatural it is, I can make it happen on screen.
Right.
So, so whether it doesn't have to happen to anybody else, it's like they experience it, like the whole like warlocks, even like they were like in biblical days.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like every human has that power, even like Jesus had that power. The same exact thing what they would call, warlocks and witches. The illuminated ones has always been hunted. Mm-hmm. So, so just kind of like, it's just kind of irony. When you think of it like that, it's like compare that to the witch hunt, but it's very, very similar. It's the iron, the children of God has always been hunted.
No,
but
I think when you're making films, film goers, people that are film fans, when they go to a movie and they go to see something, no matter what it is, they want to escape for that moment. Okay, so
exactly.
So if you're giving them another world to look into, you know what? Yeah, that's good, because now
because I like filmmakers. There's like even like Rob Zombie, like he's been the one, like he's an artist as well, as you know.
Yeah.
And like in 2006, I did an interview in his magazine. It was I think it was like not the Dark Realms, but like rock, it's kind of like rock magazine.
Right.
But anyway, so they had asked me a question like, what do I want to do? Like, what do I see myself 5 years from now? Or how do I want to retire? Mm-hmm. And I had mentioned about my love for literature, of course, like that's kind of like my foundation. Mm-hmm. And then I had mentioned Rob Zombie because, I think he's a great artist. Like he's an amazing artist. I love his work. And then also I like his films that he does. Mm-hmm. He's a great filmmaker, but the thing about that is that he's not just a great filmmaker and an artist, is that they actually both are successful too. Right. It's not just like, his music is cool, but his movie sucks, or his movie sucks and his music is good. It's like he's good at both of them. So, I was always influenced, like, motivated by him because I have so much to get out. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have to just be one. I can be both. I can write like he does. I don't have to be in my movies. I want to create. Mm-hmm. So it's like I'm not a filmmaker for me to be an actress. That's not what I am. It's like I am a filmmaker, and I cast to make my world come alive, mm-hmm. like to entertain, So yeah, so and also like Man on Fire, like the weird movies, like the trippy thing.
Oh, I think what it is that you want to show you want to show people, kind of show them a journey. Okay, where they can actually travel in for a moment of time in your mind, and that's
exactly.
and that,
because I've been in places that most probably would never go.
Right.
And if you're like, if you're what do they call like a normal citizen, I don't know how to even like say that. If you're, it's like you probably would not end up in the places that I've been, so you don't know they even exist. Uh-huh. Because you're used to, especially like if you've just been pampered your whole life, or, it's like you don't know how low things go. When I say how low, not as in like money, but as in like, and not like as in emotion, but as in like life. Mm-hmm. And like in what's at that part where there's at that level when there's no light. When I say no light, like there's no light in anybody there, mm-hmm. whatsoever. And it's just. And at that point, it's like anything goes. Like I said, death on the streets, that's very common. That's like nothing. It's like, and it could be you the next second. So that's why, like, we always, we'll look after each other and look over our shoulders, and I just had to get, to become something, like I said, working in a regular job is not going to get me a career. It's not going to get me,
but you're not here to do a 9 to 5. You're here to share, your stories, share your pain, share your triumphs with the world. And the only way you can do that is through your films and your music. All right,
Yeah,
because
I didn't take the easy way at all.
You're not going to do it flipping burgers in McDonald's or answering phones at some office. You're not going to do it there.
I know.
You know?
I know. It's like, yeah, and it's like I get criticized for that too. By the way, which I did because some people they don't know like how my life has started out and like how I ended up. And so they think that, oh, she's just like some spoiled girl, or, oh, she just gets things handed to her and she doesn't even know what it feels like not to have anything, you know. And it's like, if I'm like, oh yeah, whatever, like I was on the streets, like, oh, they don't believe me. Yeah, well, and you know, it's like, well, you know, that's by the grace of God, because it's like the glory. When I say don't believe me, because the way I look, and you know, it's like I have a house in the hills, and I'm still a happy person, as you can, you know, tell. I'm so happy, and I'm not bitter, and I still give back, and then I'm full of life. Like my career is like I'm just like overabundant, and just you know, wanting people to see like what I've created, and that's kind of like how you are when you're like just starting out, or when you're like, you know, I mean, like 18 years old, right? You know, but it's like that's called vision. I have a vision, and I see the birth of my vision is actually happening right now. Like it is here. You know, it's like the things I have, like they're tangible. So it's not like I'm talking about it or sitting in my head. It's like, no, they're all tangible. So,
but this is all the stuff that, I mean, no one gave it to you.
Yeah, nobody gave it to me. Okay. And like I said, I didn't take the easy way out.
But if nobody gave it to you and you had to fight for what you have, at the end of the day, and this is what, you know, I want listeners to understand, at the end of the day, if everything was to go away, you would still be okay.
Exactly.
Because it doesn't matter. It's not real, you know. I mean, because your happiness, your family, you know, these are the things that you hold tight. Your close friends, which is your extended family anyway, so these are the things you hold tight. You know, houses, cars, money, this, that, the high life, everything else. When all that's gone,
that just came. That just came. Like I. You know, it's not like, oh, you know, like I have a Z4 BMW, you know, and I've always had like, you know, the nicer cars too.
Well,
but
lottie-dee, lottie-dee, lottie-dee,
it was never like, oh, I want to have that.
Yeah, lottie-dee, lottie-da, excuse me.
What?
Excuse me with your BMW, your
Z4.
Your Z4, check you out. No, but you know, look, if you earn it, you deserve to have it. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't care.
You know?
Yeah, you earn it. You deserve to have it. You know, everyone. I mean, people, and it blows my mind when people look at someone, they judge them. Okay, whether you know, say, oh my God, this guy must, this chick must have money, or she must this, or she must that. It's like, you know what? If you don't. You know, you don't know the person, but you're going to deal with that anyway. You're going to deal with that, and for the rest of your life, you're going to deal with it. So, really, there's nothing we can do about it. So,
you know, that's why I just stopped. I don't people please anymore. I used to try. I'm like, I'm over it. I mean, like, I would get hated on, like, because like it's a different worlds that I go in between. Like, I can be with the bum on the street, and I'll be fine. You know, it's like. I can talk to him like normal, you know, and
but you know what that comes from?
Figure out what the hell is she doing here talking to me, and I'm like, why? What?
Yeah, but
it's like you really don't even know where I even came from, like the foundation of, you know, it's like my head is like I'm grounded. I know who I am.
The only way that anyone can understand that is someone that's been through it. So the reality is, you know, I understand that you can sit there and you can sit there on a corner and have a conversation with someone that's homeless. You can go, and if you wanted to, go speak to someone about business or speak to a politician.
As I do.
But this is what I'm saying. You know, a lot of people don't understand that, you know, when you go through things in life, and I'm talking to you from experience, you know, when you go through things in life, it kind of pushes you to deal with certain situations, good and bad, you know, this and that. And then as you get older and as you mold your life, you know what? If you're smart enough, you're never going to forget that, you know what? People are people. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a bum on the street, and I said this earlier, I don't care if you're the president of the United States. Guess what? If you're a good person, then you know what, you're a good person. I'll talk to you, whatever. If you're a bad person, you know, chances are I really don't want to deal with you.
Right, yeah. Negativity, that does nobody no good, not even themselves.
No,
You know, like I've always tried to surround myself with,
Right.
you know, with good people.
Mm-hmm.
And usually I'm very good at that, you know,
Right.
until recently. That's what it is. It's kind of like stupid. But, you know, like I said, like I've always, you know, try to do things the right way, just
Mm-hmm.
because that's the way I was kind of like brought up on, you know, we had to protect ourselves by not doing the bad things. You do the bad things, you know what happens.
Sure.
So it's kind of like from day one, you know, I've seen, you know, the bad happens to people. So I've always tried to be upright citizen and work hard so that I'd be respected, you know, and so that, you know, I can have a nice life. But it's like not just for myself, but, you know, for, you know, my family,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for if I ever get married or for my kids, you know, like I don't want to end up having kids and then, you know, them doing like have to, you know, to be homeless, as in like run away, because that probably run away from me too.
Yeah, no, but you know what? When you go through
So
things,
I'm just saying, you know, I don't
Yeah.
want them to do that. So I want to be wealthy enough to where, like say, wealthy, where, you know, they can like be a part of the corporation, you know, like Sin Icon, you know, like that's Infinite. That's a
No,
brand.
but
Like I own that brand out.
yeah, and right
So-
now you're going through the building blocks of building your
Yeah.
brand, building your image, everything, you know, and I'm sure, look, your films, your music, everything, you have a lot of things going on and all that stuff, you know, if you want it, it'll be as successful as you want it to be.
Yeah, well, I'm driven. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Only thing I know is survive.
Mhm.
Survival. That's the only button I know. Like I don't know stop. I don't know you can't. I don't know quit. I don't know, you know, failure. These things I don't know. So it's like if you tell me these things, it's like my brain's like, what did you just say? It's I can't understand like how a person can just quit or give up. It's like you don't do that because survival that's the only thing.
Well,
you know that.
see, Seraphim, you know, the reality is not everyone is like you, and not everyone understands what it is to really survive. You know, when you are homeless and you have to survive, and you don't know how you're going to get your next meal, or what's going to happen the next day, or where you're going to lay your head. Okay, that is the stuff that you don't forget. All right, I don't care. You don't forget it, and it kind of forges you. You can either be a bitter person, or you can be a better person. Bitter or better. I rather be better. Okay,
Yeah,
so you become a better person, and you're gonna pay it forward, and that's the way it is. If you're smart, these are the things you do, and that's what you're doing, and that's great.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure that you're gonna continue to do that. You know, so but one thing that we didn't do, we had this whole show. And we have to do this for the benefit of the listeners, you know, because I love talking to you about your journey to date. We have to talk about the films what you have going on now in they're coming up in 2013, and your new songs that are coming out. So let's talk about that because I know, look, I mean, you and I spoke off air. A lot of people out there, you know, that you do interviews with, they're interested in your relationship with I guess the guy from Nine Inch Nails, and also what happened with Marilyn Manson and everything else. You know, I really don't want to target that. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
because
you. Because I'm like, I want to identify with myself. Like,
Right.
I worked so hard for me. You
Yeah.
know, for it to be me, and for me not to be attached to a man, for me
Right.
not to have to be like an arm piece to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
As I mentioned earlier, you know, it's like I always want to be like a partner of, and not like an arm cannon. Then okay, you're done, and then I'm like, I don't have anything. You know, then I just really worked hard to be independent.
Yeah.
And it's like because I do carry everything as you see. It's like this is all mine.
Right.
It's not a guy's. It's mine, and I just think when people attach my name to like another artist, and of course, like I've only dated like only bigger rock stars. Like actually, they dated me, and
there you go. I like it.
Yeah, so you know, people gonna think, oh, okay, well that the girl she's only dates rock stars, or oh, you know, she wants them for the wrong reasons. It's like, yeah, no, not even, you know, and so that's why I'm glad that you're bringing this up because it, you know, I want, it is about me.
Yeah, well,
You know,
I wasn't.
and I've worked hard in my movies. You know, it's like all of those I did on my own and without a guy. You know, this is like even before even like, you know, dated the guy.
Yeah.
From,
Well,
you know,
when we were gonna do this show, the one thing, you know, I didn't want, you know, this show to be a soundbite. I didn't want it to be.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want. I'm
well,
tired
you know,
of, like,
this is what she did, and this is what it is, and all that other
Well,
nonsense. I was interested. I was more interested in how you overcame the adversity. Remember when we spoke about that was my interest in having you on the show. You know, and I mean, still, you're still dealing with your stuff, and you're still building up, and you're building that empire. You go from it's like homeless to Harvard. You're I mean, I know you love that movie, but but this is what you've done. So your story is still evolving. You're you know every thing you do is another chapter in your book.
Exactly. You know, and that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
And like I said, like the lives I come in contact with, they're never for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and it's never a one-side benefit.
Right.
So, you know, take it for what that is. You know, it's like a trade. Like, you know, it's like both parties become better.
Right.
It's like you better together than you are apart, and it's like when you come together, something great happens, and then when you end up apart, it's like that greatness still resides on both of you.
Right.
So that's why, you know, I believe in, you know, I do believe in that. Like whoever I've dated or whoever I've come in contact with, even as friends, you know, when they left or when we separated, it's always a better deal, you know, on that end for both of us. It's not just like, oh, I hate you, whatever. It's like it's kind of ridiculous. Well, and
look,
but anybody that I know and I've dated, they know, you know, I'm a kind person, and you know.
Can I say something here? You know, when you're in a relationship with someone, and I'll just say this briefly because I don't want to harp on it. When you're in a relationship with someone, if it's a good relationship, even though if it ends badly, you have to gain something from it. If you gain nothing from a relationship, then it wasn't worth your time being in it in the first place. Yeah. If you gain if you gain one thing that made you a better person, then I get it. You know, I mean, some people, you know, get stuck in relationships for, you know, like, 5 years, 7 years, and they realize, holy crap, that person did not one thing to enhance my life, not one thing I can take away from it to say, you know what, it was worth it. Yes. And it happens. You know, because... So everything you've done with your relationships, you know, you took something out of it, and they took something out of it for them, which enhanced your life. You know, and then you move forward. Then you go on to the next thing until you find that person that's for you forever. And who knows when that's going to be.
Well, I mean, I think that is not going to happen. Like I probably like it's just this little funny thing when I was little, and it's like kind of like how even my youth, like when I say little, like 10, they used to like make fun of me at home anyway. Like I said, like the host or anything, and they always said I would end up like living in like some huge mansion alone. It's like you don't go old by yourself, and you end up like in this huge mansion, probably like just alone. Because I've always been like, you know, dark like this. Like even now, my whole house is black. You know, the walls and stuff is all black, and that's why they just wanting to shoot here tonight, like I was telling you upstairs. Right. And yeah, so even back home, it's the same way. I haven't even changed like that. So, oh my God, it's my stupid cat. So,
and I was going to say something about a cat, and there you go. You brought it. Oh, my God. You brought it. It's too funny.
You hear them?
Yeah.
Trying to get out the door right now.
Oh, my God. Like... It's like a real horror flick while we're on the show. Yeah, but look, the reality is you can't say never, because never say never because you don't know.
Yeah, you know, it's like my heart is cold. When I say heart, my heart is cold. It's.
But you don't
like
know.
It's not cold in a bad way. It's like, okay, now this is completely my time to take care of myself, to do exactly what I want to do in life, to have my career, and I'm not going to get smooshed over by no other guys, you know, wanting to be with me or promising me that, oh, they're different, you know, or, oh, they love me. Love, I don't think love exists anymore. And that's just my honest opinion. Like the way that love was meant to be, You know, it seems like it's just a word that people throw around, but it has no meaning to it. And, you know, with me, it's like I wear my heart on my sleeve, as you probably can tell. And when I hurt, I hurt. And it's like, if I hurt, the whole world's going to know I'm hurting. It's like I'm not like a shy person in that manner to where I keep like all my feelings inside, because then I know that'll kill you. You know, because I did that like for most of my life already. So it's like now I can talk. You know, it's like I don't take it for granted. You know.
Well, I think that, you know, and I'll disagree with you on something. I wouldn't say that your heart is cold. What I would say is you're focused. Okay?
Yeah.
You know, so let's change that view. You're focused on yourself. You're focused on your career. You're focused on what you want to do, because when you're in that creative mode and you're developing film, music, this, that, you're on a path. You have tunnel vision. And that's where you're at right now. So relationships, all that stuff, that's not of interest to you because you're not looking at that. You can't be distracted at this point with that. You're on a path.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what it comes down to. It has nothing to do with you having a cold heart. So I'll disagree with you
well,
that
I mean,
7
like,
days a week.
Cold. It's kind of like just reminded me when my sisters and brothers used to just tell me. It was like, you're going to grow old by yourself. And it was like, but they did put in a mention, though, so at least they did that.
Yeah, well, you know what? You know, I think that, you know, when the time comes and whatever is going to be there for you, it's going to happen. It's going to happen because you want it.
I don't know. I have no interest in a mate right now. Like, seriously, yeah, like, I don't have, like I said, when I say my heart's cold, I don't mean like in a bad way. Like, I can't feel love. Like, I can't feel. Like, literally, I can't feel.
Well, you don't have time for it right now.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter, you know, whether I'm with the guy or not, you know, because I'm just like, okay, I need to make this movie, and I'm like busy like writing. And then, you know, if I'm not writing, you know, we're casting, we're looking for actors. We're doing like actor pool, you know, to see, okay, who would be great for this role, you know? So it's like I'm just really involved in my projects right now, and it's the 3 years that we have like right out the bat. And then after the 3 years is up, then we can renew it, or I can go to like a bigger.
How many movies are you slated for, though?
Well, they said as many as I can do. Basically 3 years of just straight production.
Oh, so
three. Like,
but how many movies do you have in the pipeline though to develop?
6. We have 6 right now.
Oh wow! I mean,
so
are
they
these
signed me on for like the initial 6, basically. You know, but it's like the catalog I have now. That's what got me signed.
Okay, all right.
That's what got to go. So, but I've already supposed to do that this year, though.
But a lot of people,
that whole case, that whole thing happened with MM. I didn't want to say anybody's name anymore, because, like I said, I'm not giving no sound bites.
Right.
But you know, it just kind of like it took up so much of my time this year.
Right.
Of you know, it was a disaster. You know, and it's embarrassing in more ways than one, because not only to my family, but, you know, I worked very hard to have a good name and not to bring shame to my family. Hence, I didn't take the easy way out of life. And then this whole thing kind of like, you know, tried, because it didn't, try to bring shame to my family and to my family's name. You know, and then on top of that, it's like the whole time trying to get it not overturned, but, you know, it's like, okay, find out what was going on. I just now found out what really happened. Like, I just now heard, like, 5 days ago, you know, what really happened, which I was pretty happy with what was said. Okay. You know, but then I was unhappy with the fact that it was an edited conversation, and that was not the conversation that was on. Okay. That was not the phone call.
I don't even know if I should ask you what it was. But
exactly. Well, you know, and then we're going to get into the whole. Well, there's a thing about the phone call. You know, the day of the whole scandal, it was like, you know, me and Manson and Tony and my ex-PR, and apparently I talked to him twice that day, by the way, on the phone, and then apparently some things that was said on the phone that he had mentioned to me, I guess it was a private conversation. It wasn't a public. It wasn't meant for me to say certain things publicly, and I did not know that. So it's like, it's not like I went online and researched to say, oh, he's already said this publicly or not. I did not know. So it's just kind of like, instead of, you know, emailing or calling, and saying, hey, could you not mention that because nobody knows about that part yet? You know what I mean? They just put out, oh, she's lying. She's lied. She's made it up. Or here's the actual phone call. But the phone call is an edited phone call, and it was not even a phone call I was doing on. So it's just kind of like that part is kind of like that's deception, and that's also trying to bring like a bad thing to my name, because like I do not believe in lying. Like I do not. Like I'll tell myself first before someone else tells on me. Like I said, I have nothing to lose in that area because I know what life is about, and I know why lie. It's like you spend most of your life lying. It's like, but for what?
Right.
It's like I realize, like I said, the meaning of life. So I rather just tell the truth, get the truth out, because then it's over. I don't have to like remember what I said or what I told somebody. And it's like, if it hurts your feeling, then I'm sorry, but that was my true feeling, And so basically, the conversation that took place, like I said, I loved what MM said to my XPR. It was fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, that's what I'm talking about. Like that's, the person that I always, knew that he would be, just from what I had heard about him, except for the bad things, but whatever. And, so I was also happy about that. And then it's like, they just like throw my voice in there, in and out for a second. And then they're like, see, nothing that she had said, which mentioned a couple personal things about what Manson had said. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that the world didn't know about that part. And so, you know what I mean? And so them just like, okay, well, next time can you not mention that? Or next time could you not? They just kind of like oh, can you guys remove that article? Because there's no way to prove what she's saying is true when it comes to like the conversation, what he said. And I'm like, wow, really? Like, when did another artist call a magazine or another artist and say, remove that because I don't like what she said? That's rude and ridiculous.
Right.
And that's kind of unfair. But, I had to mention about the phone call. The phone call that was leaked online, that is an edited phone call. That was not the phone call that I was on with him. Like I said, it was like I talked twice. Mm-hmm. And some things that he had mentioned to me, because we did have a conversation. Mm-hmm. And I mentioned, in interviews, I had mentioned, and I said it because I didn't know I wasn't supposed to say it. It's like nobody said nobody knows about this, or nobody said it's a private conversation. Nobody told me that. So it's like, okay, so now these things are, being said, and then it's kind of like, oh, well, he hasn't lost his house or whatever. Not, he didn't say he hadn't lost his house, but it's like things like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. I swear to God, I'm a really like down to earth person, and I do. If you tell me don't say something, I won't say it. Mm-hmm. But the whole point is there's just certain things that I don't know. That's why even like now it's just kind of.
But something.
Just a few days ago that just happened. And it's like I was happy about what he said. I was so happy. I was like, oh yes. And the thing is, since April, I'm hearing that, and I've been trying to find out what's been going on since April. And then, like I said, I got the usual, what happened with the whole Jonathan thing, and then but I never knew what Manson actually said, and I only got what they told me that he said. But there's a person I heard from his own mouth of what he said to Jonathan, and I was actually pretty happy. I was like, "That's what's up!" Like I was just like so stoked.
But it was, but it was able that was able to close the chapter on that. Close that.
It did.
That's
Seriously, it gave me peace. Mm-hmm. I was like, because it just to like I knew that he had to have known. And that's the thing that kept eating me up, because I was like, I couldn't understand, like, he's been in this game a long time, like, in the business. And, he knows it like a cookie cutter. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they said that, he said she lied, she made it up, it wasn't even from him. It was, like, from the PR that just kind of, like, sent out his own thing. But then did it in his name, said, oh, what Marilyn Manson said.
Well, I mean, that's typical with, public relations. They'll go answer for the artist to protect them and whatever they're going to do.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, It's like when I heard his own voice, like in what he actually did say to him, I have peace now. Like, and I actually was like, that's what's up. Like, my friend's like, you're so stupid. Like, no, I'm not. That's fucking punk rock. Like, that's what's up. I'm a real person, and it's like, I I admire truth and honesty like that. And it was like, it was nothing personal against me. You know, it's like, if that was me in a situation, oh, you're not getting 2 motherfucking words in. I need to tell you something. So he just checked him like that. And it's like, I admire a person like that, you know, but then I don't admire a person that, you know, that don't just stand upright and just like, it just could have been like you call him PR and said, could she not, we don't mind her doing damage control, you know, cleaning up her name because we know she has movies coming out and she, you know, she's in pre-production and names are connected, but could she not mention this part? So that would have been cool because then it's called business. You know, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to ever mention this part again because I know that they've already asked us not to. And it's for a good reason because I did not know the world didn't know.
But now, I mean, this happened a few days ago. So right now, at this point, you know, you're closing that up. I mean, people shouldn't be focused on that. People should be focused on your upcoming films and your music.
That's exactly. But the whole point was, I guess, is so many of the articles that I've done. They've been removed. They can't have to removed because of one word that is like allegedly. Like so, well, allegedly, or it's because my ex-boyfriend, Badonna Wayne Gacy, he was the keyboardist in the band. Like, you know, he told me a lot of things, and he told me a lot of things for my own protection, basically. So it came from the mouth of the source, and so you know, I don't even know Manson like that. Like I don't even know him like that. You know, it's like I never had any desire to know him like that. Right. You know, so for my own protection, you know, your actually best friend just told me these things. It's from the mouth from him. So I didn't even know, you know. So then basically, just like they're like, well, and I did say allegedly, you know, apparently. So and they're all true facts though. They weren't like, oh, you know, just stupid. Well, I don't know.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't let it eat you up because it's over. Is done.
Yeah, I mean, like you can, yeah, but it's like it's over. It is over, and like I said, you know, they know it was just wrong. It was wrong all the way around. And then to remove other artists' articles online, it's like, how would someone like it if somebody did it to you? Because you know they don't like a word that you say, or because you know they say allegedly, and it's like the whole point was I'm getting death threats, and the whole thing of you know the whole damage control is because I was getting death threats, okay, and I moved in my girlfriend here, and she's still here now to make sure you know everything is cool. But my house got broken into twice.
Oh wow, that's
okay.
Not good.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and then it's like I had 4 black cats, okay, and then I adopted a blue Russian and then another black cat, and then 2 of my cats came up dead. So I have 4 cats again.
Oh, wow.
But 2 of so and it's like. One right after another.
Can I make a suggestion?
What's that?
Get a dog, so that way if somebody.
No, I don't like dogs.
Oh, you gotta like a dog. Yeah.
Well, no, not that I don't like dogs, but it's like I like
But
all my cats are black. But there's like something special about each one of my cats because I got them when they was like newborn. Right. Like each one, so it's like they're kind of really, really, really special. And like dogs, usually dogs, or they're what my friends have. Okay. You know, like my friends have dogs. You know, and like, yeah, I'm more of a cat person.
Oh yeah, for your personal.
Well, as of now, that is.
For personally, you're a cat person. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to judge you for being a cat person. But you know what? You shouldn't have to live in a situation where people are breaking into your home and death threats and all that stuff. And I just hope for you that passes and that people put more of a focus on your music and your films and you know what I want to do, because right now we're coming towards the end of the show because you know I mean you and I can talk for hours and hours and hours about a lot of things, but we're not gonna have enough time on the show. But what I want to do, Seraphim, is you know at some point in the future I want to bring you on so that we can just exclusively, you know, talk about a film that you have coming up. So that
I would really like that a lot. You know,
we can do that.
That
would be
really
great.
Like that a lot without having any just anything else attached,
Yeah.
But I do understand that we had to do the damage control because I said it just got really bad.
Right.
And then on top of that, it's called business.
Yeah.
I can't be an executive and then, my partnership that I have is like they have to explain to even their people, when they look me up too on what's going on.
Right.
So it doesn't just affect me; it affects the people around me as well. So that's why I took the initiative to make sure that damage control got done the right way.
No,
that's why it's kind of like.
But you got to protect.
Yeah.
You got to protect your brand. And that's
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like this is not a game. It's not like a girl or a guy thing. It's like no, this is business, and this is a lot of people's lives are affected, and not just mine.
Mm-hmm.
And it is pretty embarrassing, especially like when everybody saw it go down.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like so people might act like they know what happened, of course, because like they were there.
Right.
But it's just embarrassing, like worldwide to me, because I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, but I think that right now, what's going to wind up happening is that people are going to start focusing on the positive things you're doing, your projects, and that's what that's what it comes down to. That's why, we'll have you on another time to talk about the films you have coming up, so that we can focus on that and not so much focus on the negativity and all the nonsense.
I know, I hate it.
Yeah, that's why I'm cutting you off on that, because I think it's time for you to focus on the positive stuff. But what I want you to do, if you can just let our listeners, let them know how to follow your career and find out more about your films and follow you on your social networks. Give them that information so that they can actually do that.
Okay, all right, yeah. So you can follow me on seraphimward.com, and also my Twitter is Seraphim Ward, and I have another one, my official, Seraphim Ward off, OFF, and Facebook, Seraphim Ward Facebook. So, yeah, you can follow me on either one of those outlets,
right.
Or we call social sites.
So the social media outcry.
Social media.
There you go. So that's good. That's good stuff. But, I want to thank you again for coming on the show. And then again, as I said, we'll have you on another time to talk about your film. And
okay. Maybe when Angel One Eye, because that's the one that's just now went on IMDb. Mm-hmm. And and we're doing the deliverables for that one like right now. So maybe once that one comes out, or I don't know.
Yeah, well,
get closer to like to date. That'd be one because that's an occult thriller, by the way.
Yeah, well, definitely. You know how to reach me, so you just reach out to me, just let me know, and then we'll bring you on and chat about it, and just focus on that particular film. We'll do we'll do a Q&A storytelling hour.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That would be so cool.
It'll be
that'd
a good deal.
So cool.
Seraphim, thank you again, and we'll have you on. And to our listeners, go check her out, find out more about her. She gave you the information for the social networking, the website. Find out more about her. And I think you're going to find her interesting enough that you're going to want to learn more about her as she continues to expand her horizons in the world of film and music.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
What is your major malfunction?
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you.